Hi everybody, it's Marcy, and I am working on my journal for Dear Julie Julie's April A to Z Alphabet Junk Journal Challenge. And in this month's challenge, one of the things we have to make is what she's calling a double Dutch door with dictionary definition. And so last night, I was kind of playing around with this, trying to figure out what I might want to do. And I thought I'd bring you along. Dear Julie is going to be making a video on this, and I'm sure hers will be much better. But I thought I'd bring you along to show you what I think I've decided I'm going to do for this element. So the first thing I'm going to do, I want my door to be 4.5 inches wide. So 4.5 inches wide by 6.5 inches tall. So the first thing I'm going to do is cut down my scrapbook paper. To 6.5 inches tall. Okay, that's a scrap piece. I want it 4.5 inches wide, so I'm actually going to cut my paper to 9 inches wide. Okay. So now I'm using this is a scrapbook cardstock type paper. So I'm actually going to use my scoreboard. That way I get a cleaner fold. And I'm going to score, okay, 4.5. Half of 4.5 would be 2.25. So I'm going to score 2.25 from each edge. And this will create my doors. So there's 2.25 there. And 2.25 there. So then when I fold this, comes in and meets in the center like so. Now to make it a Dutch door is one of those that opens on the top, a lot of times with a window or something, and then it also opens on the bottom. So I'm going to pull my trimmer back out, and I am going to, okay, it's 6.5 inches tall, so 3.25 inches would be halfway. So I'm going to cut to where my fold line is. And then I will bring it over here and do the same thing coming from that end. Okay, so now I've got opens there, opens there, opens there, and opens there. All right. I need to, my trimmer didn't give me a clean cut there, so I'm just gonna need to change my blade. This is actually the second video I've made today, and I said in my last video I needed to change my blade, and still haven't changed my blade. Okay, so then what I'm going to do to keep my doors closed is I'm going to, here I've got a little strip of paper that is 1 inch wide by 1.5 inches tall. And how tall you make it will depend on how tall your doors are. And this is just, it's tea dyed, but it's just copy paper, so I'm making it a little thicker by folding it in half, doubling it over. And once that's done, once it's dry, just because I prefer it this way, I'm going to round my corners. And of course, ink up my edges. Okay, then we will take our, and I'd already made some, so that's how I suddenly have 4 of them. We will take our tabs here and we're going to glue it at the top on this side so that it's overhanging the page. It doesn't have to be quite even with the top. My little tab things are 1.5 inches long. My page is 1.75, so okay. So there's one. Then you're going to go to the door across from it and put one at the bottom of this side. So I'm, again, just going to put a little glue down. Now the only thing I want to do is I do want to check to be sure that my tabs do not overlap, and they do not. You don't want them arguing with each other. Okay, so now I've got a tab on that side at the top and a tab on this side at the bottom. And now I'm going to do the same thing for the bottom ones. For the bottom 2 doors. And you could, of course, if you wanted to, not glue the tabs down ahead of time and just fold them over your paper and glue them down that way. I just don't necessarily want them to show from the outside. So that's why I'm doing mine this way. And I'm going to put one at the bottom. On this side, be sure again that they don't get in each other's way. Okay. And what those do is, when you close your doors, you take one and it, well, if my paper would stay down, I need to still haven't found my bone folder. There. So now, when you've got a good crease in your paper, it helps hold those closed. Just slide them under and under, and then they pull apart. I might need to trim my doors a hair shade. Let's see if I can take just the tiniest sliver. I didn't run into this particular problem yesterday, but I could tell when I when I was cutting the paper, I shifted it slightly when I was making the side cuts. Okay, let's see if that works better. Yeah, that's better. And yesterday when I was doing this, I was doing this when I was playing with it, I was using paper that had not been tier coffee dyed. And so I may need to put this under a heavy book for a while to get it flattened out. But it actually does hold. I mean, it's not a tight hold. It just helps keep those doors closed so that if you've got them in a journal, your doors aren't flopping all over the place. Anyway, so that's the very basics of how I'm going to make my barn door. And I made these two little windows that I want to put up on my top one. I cut these little windows out of, on my Scan and Cut. It's one of the shapes embedded in there. And then I printed out some Elsie Bell's Bookshelf Butterfly Grotto on vellum to put behind the window panes. And then I backed that with a little bit of coffee dyed paper so that the pattern on the door didn't show through. So I've got that, and then I've got a couple of things to decorate the bottom, including my definition that I need to have. So you can decorate your doors however you want. You can have something on the inside if you want. I haven't decided what I'm going to do about that yet. So I'm going to get mine decorated. I'm not going to make you watch me. I'll get it decorated, and then I will be back to show you my final product. And I probably will actually put this under something heavy to get it flattened out a little more before I do much more, because these are not holding quite as well as I would like them to. So I will be back. Okay, I'm back, and I've got my double Dutch door done. You can see I put some window panes in the two top doors, and I've got my dictionary definition here across the bottom with a little bit of gold doily. One of the other elements required that you use gold, so I'm trying to put a little bit of gold in other places just to kind of try to draw it all together. And then this illustration, the definition says, see the picture on page 151, and that is the picture. So then open it up, and I did change my tabs, which I will explain in just a moment. Open it all up, and I put writing paper down, lined paper down. It's from a ledger. Here for a little bit of writing space, and I put a pocket in the center with a little butterfly, and then I've got this tag in here. This tag was made from an old flashcard. Now, I don't know if this tag will stay or if I'll use something else, but I wanted to put this in here just to show you how it finishes out. I do like it. I'm going to pull it out for now just because I do want to flatten this a little more. But on my tabs, I changed the tabs out, remade them using matching paper, and before the tabs I had made were 1-inch pieces of paper folded in half. So the tab was about 1/2 inch, which the new ones I made were 3/4 of an inch. So they've got about 1/4 of an inch below and a full 1/2 inch to make the two meet. So I think that's what I would recommend. That seems to be holding it much better, because when you do this, even just using part of it, you lose so much that you don't have much left to grab. So then you put this tab under this page and this tab under this page, and they lock together and keep your page from your little pages here from flopping about when you turn the page, so they keep your double Dutch doors closed. Anyway, so that's my video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope this helps you in some way, if not with double Dutch doors, then with something else. These little tab latches are great little resources. And I hope you have a great day. Stay safe, stay healthy, and happy crafting. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.